Hi, welcome back to another episode of Craft Corner. And with it being summertime, I thought, why not make something that comes in handy with rashes and mosquito bites and all those type of things. Today we're going to make our own homemade calamine lotion. Now, calamine lotion, because this has no preservatives, when we make this, you're going to have to keep it in the refrigerator. It should last in the refrigerator up to 2 to 3 days. But however, it's good to have on hand because you just never know what can happen in the summertime. Now, your main ingredients that you're going to need are the clays. You're going to need a pink clay powder, and you're also going to need, I think it's called Bentonite clay, which is a white clay. You're going to need baking soda, some distilled water, a little salt, and a little vegetable glycerin. And as I've stated, because it doesn't have any type of preservatives, you can keep it in the refrigerator for a good 2 to 3 weeks, and that's how you store it. But it's very simple, very quick to come together, and like I say, it's going to come in handy in the summertime because everything happens in the summertime. So I'll get set up, and then I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'm all set. I'm also going to add just a few drops of some essential oils. You don't have to, but I just like it to have a nice little extra smell to it. So to get started with that Bentonite, I don't know how you pronounce it, but the full spelling will be down in the descriptions. And you also need your clean craft container. Remember, once you use your items for crafts, do not use it as regular dish containers again. So you need 2 tablespoons of this clay. Then you need 1 tablespoon of the pink clay. That's what gives it that, pinkish color that you're used to with the other brand calamine lotion. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of baking soda. You need a teaspoon of salt. Now, normally you would use sea salt, but I never buy sea salt, so I'm going to go ahead and use kosher salt. And now that I think about it, I probably should use regular salt, but it'll dissolve. So you need a teaspoon of salt. You need a 1/2 teaspoon of glycerin. Let's get that in there. Okay. And then next, because I'm adding fragrance oil, I'm going to go ahead and add that now before I add my distilled water. Because you know oil and water don't mix. Okay. Just maybe, this is an orange essential oil. Put like 4 or 5 drops in there. I don't want a lot of fragrance. I just want some fragrance to it. And then I'm going to mix this all up. And then I'm going to add some water. So we'll stir and mix that up real good. That little bit of pink sure does change the color. And then you need 1/4 cup of distilled water. Okay, 1/4 cup. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mix this up, and then I'll return. Okay, so here we are. I'm putting my finished product into its little jar. This is a 4-ounce mason jar. And this is really going to come in handy with little rashes or mosquito bite, bug bites, or something like that. Just make sure, as I stated, that you keep it inside the refrigerator to keep it cool, and it should last up to 2 to 3 weeks. Here's your finished product. Quite naturally, once you put it in the refrigerator, it probably will thicken up and get a little harder. So then I would suggest maybe taking a spoon or something to try to smooth it out or whatever. But here you are, for those who are trying to do things that are more natural and homemade, this is like the perfect recipe for you. And like I said, it has no preservatives, so it has to stay in the refrigerator. And this is a good opportunity for you to try to go ahead and start stocking up and getting different clays and products that have multiple uses. Like this baking soda has multiple uses. That's why I have such a big bag. But I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you do wind up, well, I don't want to say I hope you wind up using, but if you do happen to need it for a rash or a mosquito or bug bite, this is the perfect solution for it, and you'll be so happy to know that you made this yourself and you know exactly what's in it. So until the next Craft Corner, I'll see you then. You have a good day, and I'll see you next time.